following program shows the proceedings and hearings from courtrooms around the country. Not all outcomes are known or final. All parties are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Due to the intensity of some of these scenes, viewer discretion is advised.
All right.
Reached the verdict.
Right now, I guess we're supposed to, in our hearts, forgive this clown.
The man you see here is 41-year-old Daniel Villegas, accused of killing 2 teens in 1993 when he was just 16. At that time, without an attorney or his parents present, Villegas says he was coerced by an El Paso detective into confessing to the murders. Despite recanting the confession hours later, it became a key piece of evidence for the prosecution.
The court has received a message from the jury indicating that they've reached a verdict.
Villegas has been on trial 3 separate times for this crime and has maintained his innocence throughout.
Let's bring the jury in.
His first trial in 1994 ended in a mistrial due to a hung jury. A 1995 retrial ended with a conviction for capital murder, and Villegas was sentenced to life in prison. After spending 18 years in prison, that verdict was thrown out in 2013 because of ineffective assistance of counsel. Villegas was released in January of 2014 and has remained out on bond as he awaited a 3rd trial. During that time, he fathered 2 children. Though the prosecution continued to insist on his guilt, there was no DNA, no firearm, and no forensic evidence presented linking Villegas to the shooting.
If the defendant will please stand.
Within moments, he'll find out if he goes home with his family or spends the rest of his life in prison.
In the District Court of El Paso County, Texas, 409th Judicial District, the state of Texas versus Daniel Villegas, number 94-0D09328. Verdict Form B. We, the jury, find the defendant Daniel Villegas not guilty of...
For the first time since he was 16 years old, 25 years ago, Daniel Villegas is a free man.
Mr. Villegas, you have been under many conditions in this court. You are no longer under any conditions in this court. You are free to leave. Good luck to you, sir.
Now we head to Cleveland, Ohio, to the Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court for the sentencing of convicted serial killer Michael Madison. Madison's been convicted on 3 counts of aggravated murder for the killing and mutilation of 3 young women in Ohio. The gruesome nature of the crime shocked the community of East Cleveland. Police found the remains of the victims in different areas of Madison's neighborhood, one in his own apartment.
There was evidence of decomposition fluid in several parts of the apartment building. There were maggots that were attached to the decomposition fluid.
Today, Madison finds out if he'll receive the death penalty. As part of the hearing, Van Terry, the father of one of Madison's victims, steps up to the podium to make a victim impact statement. Mr. Terry's now just a few feet away from the man who so brutally took the life of his daughter, Sherelda.
Right now, I guess we're supposed to, in our hearts, forgive this clown who's touched our families, taken my child.
He's looking directly at Madison. Van Terry is released without charges. A short time later, County Judge Nancy McDonald hands down Madison's sentence. Michael Madison is sentenced to death and will now live on Ohio's death row. We head now to Jackson, Michigan, to the 4th Circuit Court. A personal protection violation hearing is on against this man, Jacob Larson. The defendant's accused of sending unwanted advances through Facebook messages to this woman seated here, a former high school acquaintance. This incident's a violation of a restraining order against Jacob.
All those messages were like, a lot of them were like last year.
How many of them were after?
How many of them were after the date of the PPO? 22. I don't post on that. What's that? I don't post on that much.
This is the second time the judge has questioned the defendant about his contact with the plaintiff. In fact, the same judge had issued the defendant's original PPO 4 months earlier.
Yeah, I know, but it's like this
stuff.
like fatal attraction kind of stuff that I warned you about last time. I told you to just leave her alone. She was a classmate of yours. She apparently has no interest in seeing
I want her to tell me to leave her alone.
You know what? I told you to leave her alone. And apparently that didn't get through loud and clear. So today, you're going to jail for 3 days. And the next time you violate it, you're going to jail.
You and her are all.
You know what? You got a bad attitude. You had a bad attitude last time you were in court. Okay?
You and her are buddy. Y'all get along. Y'all are.
45 days county jail. Okay? 93 days in the county jail. You want to go for a year? Try it right now. One more word out of you, it'll be a year of county.
Over Facebook. Really?
Over violations of my PPO and your conduct in the courtroom. 93 days in count.
The judge, clearly agitated by the defiant defendant, sending him to jail.
I ain't never threatened.
Stand up.
Buddy.
Stand up. You're going to jail for a year in the county. 365 days county jail.
Can't do that.
Appeal it.
I will. Good.
Put your hands behind your back
Tell me to leave you alone. Tell me to leave you alone. Tell me right now.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Take his ass right now.
The judge now steps in to help subdue the defendant.
Put it down. That's enough. All right. We'll make it 93. You can think about it. All right. In the community. Get to know you all too much. I'm good. All right. 93 days.
Larson sentenced to 93 days in county jail.
Can't tell me to leave you alone. Can't tell me to leave you alone.